So how cool were these shots, right? I mean, the Mavic Mini is just amazing when it comes to flying close to certain objects because it's so small, it's so tiny, and the fact that it can go through so many different objects is just unreal, and you can create some epic looking footage with it. So in today's video, I'll share a couple of tips on how you can create some similar looking shots yourself with the Mavic Mini by also flying safely. You don't want to crash on your first ever try, so I'll give you a couple of tips on how to fly safe and how to create epic footage like this. Before we start with the tips though, let me just quickly introduce myself if that's your first ever time on this channel. My name is Mike and this is Drone Supremacy. I'm all about drones, but I'm also very passionate about all sorts of cameras, so I'm really into making these videos. And the Mavic Mini is the hot topic right now. I'm planning to upload a lot of Mavic Mini content, so if that's something that you're passionate about as well, I would appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. Now we got that out of the way, let's start with tip number one. And tip number one is something that I highly advise you to do if you want to recreate shots like these, and that is to stock up on your extra propellers, or at least if you have the Fly More combo of the Mavic Mini, you can use that cage that comes into the package. That is going to be extremely important if you want to save your propellers from clipping, from breaking, or your drone in general from crashing into something. Doing these type of shots, I realized it's very possible that you are going to hit something, you will crash into something, sometimes you just don't have the right control over the drone, so breaking a prop or two is very possible. So like I said, preparation for these possible crashes is key here. When I went to shoot the intro for today's video, I realized I only have one set of extra props which came in the package. I don't have the Fly More combo, so I was a bit scared to push it as much as I wanted. So some of these shots that I had in mind I couldn't recreate because I just didn't have the spare props, and I want to continue flying with the Mavic Mini in the upcoming weeks. So I immediately ordered some more props, so in the upcoming weeks I might give it a try again and make some even more daring shots like these in the intro. The next tip that I have for you, and that is extremely crucial, at least in the beginning, is to find a nice straight line that you plan the drone to go through. In many situations, let me just give this forest as an example that I went to yesterday for filming the first shot of the intro. I went to a very dense forest, but the line that was between the trees was just perfect for the drone to go through, and it's just one straight line. You simply need to press forward and you need to follow the drone if it's going to move to the left or to the right a bit. Sometimes it's going to drift, so you need to correct that with the sticks, but generally all you need to press is forward or backward on the sticks and the drone will do the rest. Keep in mind, the drone doesn't have obstacle avoidance sensors, so you need to follow the path of the drone and correct, like I said, if it's going too much to the left, you need to correct it to the right. And it's very crucial to follow exactly where the drone is going. So the best thing to do is to stand right behind the drone as it starts moving forward. And you don't really need to look at your remote, at the sticks, you only need to look at the drone. And as soon as it's going a bit more to the left or a bit more to the right, you correct that with the sticks and you follow the path of the drone. Sometimes if you stare at your screen, you might get confused, you might not see a little branch, you might not see something else, you might get too close to a certain obstacle and you just crash. That's something that I did as well. Unfortunately, it can happen to everyone, and one little second of not paying attention could just damage your propellers, or you can just crash your drone. So that happened to me as well. But don't worry, as soon as you stop looking at your remote controller and your phone and you start looking at the drone itself, it's very easy to correct the movement when it starts to go wrong. My next tip is to use Cine-Smooth mode. Cine-Smooth mode is going to slow down the reaction time of the sticks a little bit, but it's going to make everything a lot smoother. So in case you're not using that mode, you're just in P mode, every single correction that you make during the movement of the drone is going to be very harsh and it's going to be very visible in your videos. So I wouldn't really recommend you to use P mode. So switch to Cine-Smooth mode. That's going to smoothen out most of your movements as long as they are not very harsh, and even small corrections are going to be very smooth and good looking on your final footage. Something else which I like to do is to reverse my clips after I have shot them. and that way I can create an even more impactful result in the end. So in some situations that works, of course, if you have people walking or cars passing by or anything else that shows the right movement, it's just not ideal to reverse the clip. But in some situations, let's just say the forest, it's very easy to reverse the clip and to reveal some of the obstacles that you're going through. So that makes a huge difference in my opinion. It makes a huge impact on the viewer while you're revealing something that you're going through. And the last tip I have is to commit. For these types of shots, it's very, very crucial to commit to the movement of the drone and just do it. In many situations, if you get scared while flying through a certain object or obstacle, and you stop or you go more to the left or more to the right, the drone is just going to hit that obstacle and it's going to crash. So sometimes it's just better if you pull through, you go ahead, you press that remote forward or backwards, and you just commit to the whole movement. It's not going to work every single time, but trust me, when it works, the results are just spectacular. Some of my favorite shots from yesterday's filming was the go-through shots through my car. And it was so difficult to make them because my windows are just not that big, and it was just so difficult to make these shots. I know for some of you they might seem a little bit boring, but to me it was just, my adrenaline was pumping like crazy, and I didn't crash not even once in my car, so that was great. I also managed to get those shots of me being extremely happy after flying through my car. And generally, these types of shots are going to teach you so much about how to control your drone, how to be very precise, and how to get better shots with the Mavic Mini as well. I know for many beginners, these shots would look like something that they wouldn't ever try, but trust me, if you have enough propellers or you have that cage that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the one that comes with the Fly More combo, you really have nothing to be scared of, because even if you break a prop or even if you crash lightly, you're flying slowly through an obstacle, and as long as it's safe around you and it's not that high, the drone is just going to fall, and you're going to replace a prop or two and you're ready to get back in the air. So personally, I think these shots are worth it. If you trust yourself enough to try it, I would highly advise you to give them a try, and let me know what do you think about these shots afterwards, and if they were possible for you to recreate or not. So with that being said, I hope you found this video useful. Hopefully you find it entertaining as well. And like I said, I'm planning to upload a lot of Mavic Mini content in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned for that, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see those videos as soon as they are released. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!